All right, let's see if we got better results this time here. We are, let's see, give me 1 second. All right, it looks like we are on. All right, cool, man. This time we should have it right. I started a live stream a little while ago. Joe from Film Proficient here in Waukesha, Wisconsin. I started a live stream a little bit earlier. Got a viewer here. How are you? Not sure who you are. Feel free to type in any comments or any questions in the chat here if you feel led. And but I started Hangout a little earlier and realized I didn't have my settings proper, and then all of a sudden I had a customer. So I had a couple cars to do, but I'm going to run through this. What do we got here? We have a 2016 Nissan Altima. So this was the car that I was planning on starting on a little while ago. And I'm just going to go through, because a lot of times customers, potential customers, they're interested in what is it like for my particular car. So I want to start doing a series or just start showcasing some different vehicles. And I had several customers that really came in and were they found it satisfying to watch a video online of me doing the same kind of particular car that they have. So I figured I might as well just, when I can, share some videos here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this car. I'm just going to run through this. I'm not going to do any close-up shots. I'll just kind of walk you through what I'm doing, give you a little bit of a insight as to what I'm thinking as I go through the process here. So the whole goal, of course, is to do a good, solid, clean install. This particular channel is my main business channel here on YouTube, Film Pro. The website is filmproficient.com. So feel free to check out that website. And really, this is a video that should hopefully benefit somebody in the future that has, this could be beneficial to watch for really anybody with a Nissan Altima, a Nissan Sentra, Nissan Maxima, and that type of a car, sedan. Those are the common Nissans that you run into. There's a lot of them out there. It is a good, dependable car, and I tint a whole bunch of them. In particular, this car is from Wild Dodge here, local dealership. Give them some props in my video here because I do a whole ton of cars for them, and they have a great selection of vehicles, and they're affordable, and they stand behind what they sell. So that's kind of cool. So what we're going to do here is I'm moving pretty fast. So far, I have cleaned the outsides here of all these windows, and I've got the film pre-cut here for this back window. So the cut it's outlined in the film. You can't see it right now, but I'm going to lay this out. And the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to line this film up so it's really in the right proper position on the glass here. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to shrink this film and make it the exact same shape as we would like it to be to intimately install inside the car. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like maybe somebody left that in there, strap of some sort. Anyways, I'm going to make this window the same shape and the same, when I say shape, I mean the contour, right? How this window is shaped in the mold before it goes into heat treat. When they manufacture this window, it's got a certain contour to it. It's basically a what do they call that? Compound. It's a compound curve. So it curves both from the top to the bottom and from side to side. Kind of like if you think about like an eyeglass or magnifying glass, kind of like that. It's got a multiple curve shape to it. So if I was to try to install this piece in the way, in this flat condition that it's in, it would never seat itself. And I'll move the camera closer so you can get a better look at what we're doing here, because it's kind of interesting, and you may have not seen this before. Um, so here, I'll move it up. You can take a peek at what we're doing here, and you can see what it is how this process goes is what I should say here. So yeah, in an effort to, make sure that we have a good, solid, clean, professional install, we want to make sure that this film is the same shape as the glass. So when we go in and install this piece, we don't have any bubbles. That's the name of the game, right? We don't want to have bubbles. A lot of people, if they don't know anything about tint at all, they know that they don't want their windows to look like the one car that they seen driving down the road with all the bubbles. And that's all a lot of people know. And so that's actually what I'm after here, is a bubble-free install, and also creases where you might be trying to use your squeegee tools inside to install this film. Once I go to the inside portion, you don't want to have a situation where I have this relief popped up and I squeegee over it and it folds and creases. That's basically, installation wise, that's like a point of no return there. So once the film is creased, if it's a light crease, you may be able to heat it and iron it out. Not something a professional is going to want to be dealing with. Generally, if I have a crease, I'm going to take that piece of film off and start all over again. This particular car, there's a special technique for just even shrinking, just the way the glass is made. I use a little bit more of a circular pattern to smooth the film out. And so, yeah, we're going to get this the exact shape of the glass, and clean the window. Super solid, very thorough cleaning is what we're going to be after. We want to remove all the dust, dirt, contaminants. Inside of a back window, you got to be concerned with different things like hair, human hair, dog hair, basically. And if you've ever watched any of my other videos, I've said that before, that the back window is kind of like a collector area. If you could imagine driving around, especially in the summer with the windows down and everything that kind of blows into the car, dust and stuff, or anything that's from inside the car, dirt, dust, contaminant wise, is all going to blow around and go into the back area of the window here. And that's why a lot of times this will be an area that takes a little bit more focus. If you're dealing with a new car, obviously you don't have to be so concerned with that. But if you got a car that's a couple years old, you're going to want to spend a little extra time or a little more focus in some of these areas where there's going to be extra dirt, which is the back window. And then, of course, in these gaskets here where the window is mounted in there, because what happens on those is a lot of the stuff from outside, because of the driving and the force, dirt and stuff will get in the gaskets and roll around. And I'm sorry, the focus got jacked up there. Hang tight, hang tight. Anyways, we got that set up, so we're good with that. I don't know what happened there. But anyways, on those gaskets on the outside, what will happen a lot of times is the grime and grit from outside will work its way around to the inside of the gasket, and that'll make for a dirty situation installing the film. So when a car's a little bit older, you need to focus on that stuff a little bit more and get a clean install. So we're just here working on Sunday. I take off Friday and Saturday keep the biblical Sabbath day and rest on Saturday, and then I work Sunday through Thursday. I've been doing some Friday stuff too, but just if I feel like it. And so, yeah, you can check out the website, check out the price lists, filmproficient.com. There's a link at the top of the page. You can also see us on Facebook. So that is facebook.com/film proficient. And check us out there. I don't know why I'm saying us. It's basically just me. So check me out there. What we're going to do here is I'm going to really carefully, I'm going to use some heat, and I'm going to be careful not to point towards this vinyl here. I don't want to melt the door panel, but I do want to use a little heat to remove this window sticker. The purpose is twofold here, and I don't know if you can really see that too good. Probably not. You can see it all right. It's good enough. It's not the most exciting thing anyways, but I'm going to take this window sticker off carefully, and I want to keep it from leaving glue behind. I don't want to have to clean the glue off the glass, but I also want to reinstall this sticker on the windshield for the dealership so it really doesn't look like I messed with it at all. And it left a little chunk here. I'm just going to pick that up, and I'll have to just scrub a little extra right there, but I got the window sticker off. It's just a typical buyer's guide. So, of course, I need to be mindful of that in the event, or I should say, this car is for sale. So I need to be concerned with keeping that sticker intact so I can put it somewhere else so the car can go back on the lot undisturbed and continue to be for sale. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these door panels. You can check that out. The main reason why we would do this now, a lot of places you would go, they won't do this. It's only really going to be the more high-end, more experienced tinting shops that are going to focus on this. And the reason being is because it takes a little extra time to take these panels off. And but really the results are night and day. So I'm able to, and really it's a quick process. I just pop this panel, get this gasket out of the way, really straightforward on these Nissans. And I'm gonna snap that panel back in place while I do the rest of my work. And the purpose is to basically do what we call bottom load the piece. And what that is instead of having to put the piece on in two separate steps, I'm going to be able to just bottom load the piece in one step, squeegee it on, and it's going to be done. It's going to lead to a cleaner install. It's just a more professional installation, and it's really what you should be looking for. And if you're in the process of searching, shopping around for a tint shop to work on your vehicle, maybe you're watching this video later or whatever, and you're not in the area, you're not in the Waukesha, Wisconsin area, and you're looking for somebody in your neck of the woods. This is something you're going to really want to be interested in. Typically, the other method is what we would call a top load. Of course, bottom load. The other one is top load, and I'll swing that around so you can see a little bit better. In the top load, you will tend to have more opportunity for creasing down in the kind of like the bottom section on the sides, and also a little bit more chances of creases and dirt in that area. So we want to avoid that. I'm going to get a drink of water. Now, I talk a lot, and I don't know what the heck good the video would be without me just telling you what I'm doing. Maybe some people are interested in just watching me walk around my shop. But I get comments where people are like, dude, you never shut up. And really, I don't. And why should I? I mean, I'm trying to give you some value for the time that you're trading and you should know how this process works so it can help you. Either help you to understand how this is done, help you to find a professional that can do a good job for you, or help you find me, which is really the goal. I'm not going to lie to you. So I have other videos on my channel about how these door panels come apart, so you're not going to really get a close-up here. These front ones have three bolts, a couple leg type screws, and actually one sort of like machine screw. And take those three off. Pop out the clips, lift the door up, pop off the gasket. Takes an extra 5 minutes for the whole car to prepare it this way and get just a much better install. So it's worth it for me to do it because it's easy, it's less brain damage. And hey, if whoever the viewer is, type your name up there. I'm wondering who's watching, if it's a past customer or somebody just random checking it out. That'd be cool. So while I'm gonna prepare to jump in the that didn't work out. All right, I'm gonna reset this film in my machine there. I'm gonna let that be, and I'm gonna prep this back window. The goal here is to do this car in about an hour and a half. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gather up my tools. I've got my little toolbox, if you will. It's got, you know, some squeegees and different things in there that I need inside the back window. And so I'm going to take that and my spray bottle with my solution. I can bring this up so you can see what's going on here. And hopefully it won't blur out again. It tends to do that when I get in the frame. It'll focus on me, and then when I leave, it's like it's looking for me. All right, maybe that'll work out. Let's just see. So this light here easily comes out. You can see that. And a lot of times places will also like cut around these lights, and a lot of them really come out really easy. And I really don't like cutting around a light. It's like an incomplete window. It's like when you tint it and it's got that big chunk missing. It's just not what I consider to be professional. So I don't like that. It just takes a second to remove that so I can get one solid, consistent piece back there. And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to do some scrubbing. Going to do kind of a two-step scrubbing process here. Step one, little white scrubby pad. It's abrasive enough to remove any kind of most of what you might find contaminating the window, dust and whatnot. It's not abrasive enough to scratch the glass. And then I got like a little pot scrubber, like something you would use to clean your dishes, that I'll use. That is a little bit more aggressive, but yet it's not going to scratch the window. Well, the only windows I've ever found that it is too abrasive on are like Dodge Chargers and Dodge Challengers. So I will not use it on those. Their glass is just really soft. And so that's one that I will not use it on. But other than that, it's really not a problem for most cars. Now I can feel pretty confident that I got the majority, or all, I should say, all the contaminants off. If I am unlucky once in a great while, I may have to redo a window. And I've been known to redo windows right here live on these live videos. I'm making a live video so I don't have to upload and I don't have to edit, but it is basically like no frills, like there's no hiding anything. If I make a mistake, I gotta start over again, and you'll see that firsthand. So it's cool. Now, I don't know if this viewer, maybe you're just chilling and you got time to watch the whole video. No comments, so you're going to remain anonymous, I guess, which is cool. Hide in your pajamas there in your house, I guess. Whatever you got going. It's cool. Now I got that ready. I sprayed that window down. I'm gonna go over here off. I'm gonna be off this shot for a second here. I'm just gonna grab this piece of film. And this is a car for the dealership, so it's like, I kind of move through these jobs a little bit faster. If I have, let's say, a few, let's say I have 5% contamination in one of these cars for the dealership, there's a little higher threshold for what is acceptable based on price, what I'm charging, and the fact that what the purpose of this film is. For a customer car, I may spend extra time cleaning and whatnot. But this car is newer. It's a 2016. And they come out really close to perfect almost every time. And so I know by experience that more than likely I'm going to have a good clean install. So just watch while I install this piece here. Going to really just carefully expose the adhesive side with what we call a reverse roll. And then I am going to just position. I'm going to pop these side panels here just to give myself a little extra space. I know that you can't see that because you're looking through this window with all this water on it, but nonetheless, just check it out. And one piece back window. And typically we'll get a real nice install here. Let's see what we got. When I'm squeegeeing, I'm going to really focus on kind of stretching this film out in all directions from sort of like this center point here, if you can see that. And the reason being is if I don't kind of systematically squeegee this out, I could have it bunch up in an area. I can cause myself bubbling. I could end up creasing the film and having to start over. So it's one of the things that I'll focus on is kind of trying to get it evenly distributed and kind of working from the center toward the corners. It is really, really hot today. And I'm already, I can tell, I'm satisfied with the cleanliness. I'm going to do another pass. This time I'm going to be more, I'm going to be pressing a little bit more firmly. I want to remove as much moisture as possible here. And so I'm going to do more of a systemized, more of an even process to kind of finalize the install here. And I know it's a little tricky for you to see, but these videos are kind of like I want to share with this particular vehicle, kind of introduce myself, share a little insight, and get some exposure, get some marketing value out of this video. All right, and I'm going to use a different squeegee here for the little remainder on the bottom. And actually, I'm going to use a combination of quite a few different tools, squeegees and whatever, paper towel, and kind of just now what I'm doing is just getting the remainder of the moisture. I'm going to kind of start wiping down. I don't want to leave anything left behind. So basically what a person is going to get is a clean deck. I'm very much detailing the rear portion of this deck area now. In fact, you won't have your deck area cleaner unless you have the car detailed, or you go in the back there and do this same sort of wiping and cleaning process. So basically it's like it's twofold. I cleaned it up for my purposes for getting a clean install, and then what dripped down, all that stuff gets wiped up, and all the dirt that was in this back area is removed. And so it's a win-win. Area's cleaned up. Right now I've got myself a little squeegee. You can see here just a little plastic hard card that I have inside of this particular paper towel, and what I'm doing is just removing all the moisture from the edge of the film, because the moisture, the film has a tendency of sucking the moisture back up under the film, and I don't want that. It'll make bubbles for me, and it'll bring dirt back into the install. It'll contaminate the install even after I'm done and I walk away, and 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, I could realize, wow, look at this. Some moisture went up underneath the film, and oh, look, it brought a bunch of dirt contamination with it. And now my good, clean install is destroyed, and I have to sometimes start over. So we don't want that. So it's just really doing a thorough install. It's like not cutting corners. You gotta really just make sure the windows are clean and get it thorough. Do a thorough, repetitive process. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit. You can get a general idea of what's going on here from now on. I'll show some preparation. I'm gonna do some piece preparation on the glass there, but first things first. So that window's done, really. I will look at it one more time before I do my final cleaning, in which time I will, just polish the window and make sure it is really satisfactory. Like it's one of the last steps that I'll go through. But for now, I'm going to move on, and I am going to cut the door panel or the door pieces here. I'm just setting up my plotter. Got my film in place. I'm using up the last little bit of a roll here. I'm not sure how far that's going to go, so I might have to switch my roll of film out there in between. But if you can see here, I'll turn this so you can see. So that's the plotter machine that we got. It's a Vinyl Express Q54. It's made by GraphTech. If that is something that you know something about, or if that's something you're interested in, we utilize a pattern software database. I actually have two databases that I use interchangeably. They cost me quite a bit of money. We're talking about $350 a month that I pay for database, software database, so I can have the right patterns for each car. Each pattern software that I use sort of has some specialties, and I find that I need both of them. So we use Film and Vinyl Designs, and we use DAP, Design Access Program by XPEL. We also do paint protection film and a little bit of vinyl wrapping. So the patterns for the paint protection film from Design Access is really second to none. They're the best of the best. And the Film and Vinyl Designs has some little bit better options for window tinting. So I'm behind this plotter now. I'm really watching my roll here because I'm literally cutting the last possible piece. And now I'm gonna stop this. And now my empty roll wants to jump around. So I just pause that for a minute, cut that off, and I'm gonna just get rid of that. And then I got the last piece. There's about a foot left of that roll, and I'm really done with that roll. And typically the last, not so much anymore, but sometimes the last bit of the roll has a little bit of it's like sputtered. It's got like it's a little, how should I say? It's kind of like distorted. So I don't typically use it anyways, the last little bit of the roll. So what we'll do is I'm gonna crack open another brand new roll here, and we will get that set up. So yeah, the plotter and the plotter software allow me to do more cars. It allows for a more consistent pattern, which it's not to say that I couldn't cut good solid patterns that are just as good as the machine, but it makes for a more efficient process, and I'm able to do more work that way, and it's just a win-win. I'm gonna check here. I want to check my I got my live stream going here on YouTube on this computer just so I can monitor the audio, because I've had that before where the audio cuts out. So hope you're enjoying. If you're just checking us out here, we are here on a Sunday doing a 16 Nissan Altima. And this is Joe from Film Pro, filmproficient.com. You can check us out at facebook.com/filmproficient and see our price list and information about our films. You can go to the manufacturer's website. Mainly what I use is Reno window films. Really what I feel like is the best carbon-based, nano-ceramic infused window film out there in the market today. Cutting edge technology, what I think is the best. There's a lot of brand names that are good films, Lumar and 3M and a bunch of other stuff. Most of them are dyed polyester film with different layers and ceramic layers on top. Reno Window Films is a manufacturer that has a carbon and nanoceramic infused substrate that is something no one else has. So what does carbon mean? The carbon means that the film has the coloring right in from the manufacturing. It's not a dyed material. So it's really going to be a color stable film, and you don't have to worry about any kind of color change at all. And it's really what I feel is the best of the best. And so that's what we got. Reno Window Films. There is a link on the website, filmproficient.com. That's kind of a crazy spelling there. It's FILMPROFICIENT, filmproficient.com. Check us out there. Right on the homepage, right below the fold, right below, about a quarter of the way down, is a video I made about the different films that I carry and what's the difference between them. And then there's also a link to the manufacturer's website, so you can go there and do some research. You can I cut myself. You can go there and do some really nerdy research on all the different statistics of the film, and really get really super nerd and do some research there and figure out what it is that you want. So what I'm going to do here is I got these pieces cut up. These are the side pieces, and I'm going to be able to slap those on once I get the doors cleaned, the windows cleaned up properly. I mentioned that I cut myself. This film is really sharp coming off the plotter, and if you just like a paper cut, it'll slice you up pretty quick. So got to be careful of that sometimes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to weed out the excess material here. This is basically the material that I do not need. And so when I take this off, I'm left with the pattern that I actually need for the window to be installed into the car. And it's really a cool process. Back in the day, we would have to cut all these patterns on the outside of the car, so it was extra cleaning process and extra work and extra risk of damaging the vehicle. And nowadays with technology, we're lucky enough where we don't have to deal with that. Most of the time, once in a great while, we'll end up with a car that is something that I don't have a pattern for, and we'll have to do some old-fashioned cutting, which is probably good for me, I guess, to have to do that once in a while, but not something I'm excited about. You get spoiled, and I'm spoiled with the patterns and the plotter and the clean installs, and it's really boils down to good results for the customer. So I am just gonna smooth these out here. It's really a pretty quick process, pretty quick turnaround. This is about an hour-and-a-half car. If I wasn't fiddling around and talking with you, I'm trying not to focus too much on the whole setup here. I want to make something that's valuable. We got another viewer there. If you guys feel led, you can share in the comments section there. Let me know who you are, past customer, or maybe you got questions. I don't know. If you got questions about how the installation goes, or maybe questions about your specific car. If you watch this video later, anytime down the road, and you have questions, just throw them in the comments. I will come back and do my best to answer those questions. But you're better off texting me. Obviously, if you're a local customer and you're looking maybe to set up an appointment or something, you can text us here at Film Pro at 262-278-0530 and ask questions. I can send you out price lists. I can shoot you out everything you would need to get here, directions, pictures of the building, pictures of the shades of film, and it's really a nice system to utilize to help people figure out what they want. So let's see here. What can we see? Other viewer took off, so I must not be that exciting, which I'm sure I'm not. But to somebody who is looking to get some windows tinted and really trying to figure out who can I trust, where can I go, who's going to do a thorough job, it's been very successful for me making little videos, sharing them on different places, Facebook and buy sell groups. I oftentimes will make videos and throw those in there. I want to do some more of that, and so that's what we're doing. And I know that, like I said earlier, if you just joined in, people like to see their particular type of car being worked on, or a car that's really close, you know. So for a lot of people that have a Nissan, the models that I mentioned, Sentra, Altima, Maxima, Toyota, Camry, Corollas, a very similar car. It's nice to see somebody working on something that is very close to what you have. So I'm going to shoot through these windows here. You're not really going to be able to see a whole heck of a lot. But what we're going to do, and I got this little bit of glue that I had from the window sticker. I really want to focus and make sure that I get that. One of the little steps that I utilize is kind of just to fill the glass with my hand, and I can really feel any little bumps or any little pieces of contamination that might be there, and I can make sure I get rid of them. And that'll lead to a really nice, clean, professional job where I won't have to fix things. I mean, that's really the name of the game. It's one of the things that's been successful for me is that a lot of times people will say, "Oh, yeah, I heard you do a good job," and I do try to do a really clean install, a really good job, and it's simple. I don't get paid to fix windows, so I don't want to fix windows, and so I just try to do it right the first time, so I don't have to fix windows. It's simple business. Um, so we got one window knocked out. We're using the same particular strategy. I've got the little white scrubby pad. I'm going to do my best to kind of squeeze that in on the edges and get a thorough scrub job. Agitate anything that might be there, dust and just normal stuff. Dust, smudges, fingerprints, dirt, that kind of thing. And then I'm going to go over it with the little pot scrubber. I'm bleeding here from my cut, and I'm not going to do much about that, but I'm going to scrub over this with the pot scrubber. And basically this is just in case there's one little something or another stuck on the glass that I didn't happen to feel. It'll come off. So this process, these two scrubbies together, has proven to be successful 99% of the time in getting everything I need out of the way. And so that's one side done. And we'll move to the next side here. We got two viewers again. Hello, viewers. If you feel like saying hi or whatever, do so. Most people are chicken, so I don't know. But, or you just don't have anything to say to me and don't really care. I don't know. But if you have questions, man, feel free. I'd be happy to. Probably somebody I know anyways, because a lot of the people that are subscribed to this channel are just past customers or people I know. This video is really, I'm just trying to make something of value for a potentially new customer that might watch this. So and the only reason I'm doing live videos just so I don't have one more project to deal with. Like I don't have to edit and I don't have to upload and all that kind of stuff. So this is really what that's about. Not that I necessarily have anything really new and exciting to share with a past customer or one of my friends. And yeah, that's that. It's just about convenience, really. All right, so one more window to go, and then I'll move that thing in. I'll show you a couple installs, a couple close-up installs, where we're doing a little bottom loading, and I know that there's a couple guys subscribed to this channel that are subscribed to my other channel, so maybe it's one of them watching. This is not a channel where I'm really trying to teach or show people how to do tinting per se. I'm just kind of trying to share a little bit about what leads to a good install, so people can use that to help themselves. Maybe you wanna buy some film and give it a whirl. I don't know. I did that. At one point, at one time, about 27 years ago. 27 years ago. All right, so now I got this. I've got my pieces here. I'll turn here so you can really see what's up. But I got my pieces. I've got my spray bottle. I got my windows clean. You won't be able to see this little window, but I'm going to shoot these little windows in there real quick. And I'm mainly trying to get this piece, all the pieces off the window without touching the adhesive side at all. So you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to feed this little window, this little piece into this little window here. And I'm seeing a bunch of, oh, that's on the outside. Okay, there's like a bunch of specks, like black specks on this window, but it's on the outside, so I'm not concerned with that. That won't affect my job. And a lot of times these little windows are easier to deal with if I'm standing outside the vehicle for some reason. So I'll do that, and I'm just going to squeegee this in real quick. I'm going to wipe down the moisture around it. I'm going to take a paper towel, sop up all the moisture that's around the edge of the film, and it's really just a very quick 1, 2, 3, and it's done. And it's clean too. I can tell already. If there was any contaminants to be seen, I could see them right now. And if it was really bad, or what I perceived to be really bad, I would peel it off, cut a new piece, try again. I do have one little speck there, and I can just heat that up in a second and iron that out. No big deal on this particular unit. Yeah, it's gone now. Okay, so I'm going to leave the paper towel in there for the other side, and I'm going to pre-spray this window. I can let me move this up here. You want to see this? You may want to. Somebody may want to. So let me just pull this up here, and you can get an idea of what's going on here with this particular window. So I got that sprayed. I'm going to spray it and grab this piece again. The name of the game here is to get this film off the glass without touching the adhesive side ever. I don't want to touch the adhesive side at all and risk contaminating. What we're going to do is we're going to do this bottom load. So I'm going to angle this, get this front corner in, and I'm going to sink that down quite a ways. And I'm going to carefully touch this top corner down. I'm going to turn it and slide it forward kind of at the same time, and I'm going to let the film bunch up a little bit without creasing it, just so I can get this whole piece in there. And I do feel some kind of contaminant right here. I have two little something or anothers to deal with here. I got one little piece of sand grit. I might have got that from that front rubber there, not sure. But what I did was a little surgery, flip that film over with and rinse it down. And we're going to try to position this so that we have really like about a 1/16 of an inch is an acceptable gap at the top of the window. It's very minimal. And I'm just going to put a little eye on that corner to see if I got everything, and it looks like I did. And so I'm happy with that. We're going to squeegee. Same thing, really. I'm trying to squeegee this from the center out towards the corners so that I don't have any bunching. Which will lead to creases in the film potentially. And I don't want that. So we're going to do a second pass. Really pretty straightforward here. We're just going to make sure we have good positioning, good cleanliness, even squeegee process. Use special triangle tool like this in the edges here. Get as much moisture out of the area as possible, and then we're good there. I'm going to roll this up, and I'm going to deal with the bottom. One pass with the squeegee here. This is a particular squeegee that I use quite often, little Blue Max blade in a little special kind of handle. I forget what the name of that handle is. It's a Stroke Doctor Mini, if you're interested. And so we're just going to go over this bottom section with another different kind of card with some slip tape on it. It's kind of special tinting tape that allows me to use this squeegee right on the glass and not have to worry about scratching the film. It's kind of self-explanatory, I guess. Slip tape, really a nice invention. It's helped me quite a bit. So I'm going to leave that. If I get a little bubble coming up from the bottom, I'm going to let that chill for a while. I'm going to let that dry out, and then I'll go over it one more time, put the panel back on and all that. And so it's really hot today, so I'm using quite a bit of soap in my solution. I want to make sure that I get a good opportunity. When I put the film on the glass, I want to be able to move it around. And that solution mixture can require change on a daily basis depending on the temperature and the humidity. And it's hot today, so I got a little bit more soap in my solution. And again, we're going to bottom load. And again, if you just happen to join in, Joe here from Film Proficient. It's actually Film Pro in Waukesha, Wisconsin. You can check out the website, filmproficient.com, or check us out on Facebook. It is facebook.com/Film Proficient. And I want to lay that out there a couple of times so that anybody that might jump in mid-video or whatever can know where we're at. And so it's really quick. You can see, I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I've been doing this a long time, so it's really something that I've, really practiced quite a bit, and it can look easy. But it's just the years of practice. So, obviously, if you're looking for someone to do your windows, that's going to be something that you might consider. How long have they been doing this, right? The guy who's been doing this, there's a couple of us out here in Waukesha that have, 25 plus years of experience and are really doing work on another level of installation that a guy with, a couple years experience isn't doing. I've noticed recently that you can go on like Craigslist and find guys they'll come to your house and do a car for $100. I don't know how that's possible. Some of the films I have are almost $100 in just material costs. So not quite sure. You never know what you're gonna get for that, but there is a market for it. There's people out there that are willing to pay that $100 and get that $100 tint job. So bless them. I hope they get a good job. I'm gonna move this back now, and I'm kind of just gonna blabber for a while, and I'm gonna leave this where it's at now, and just check it out. Enjoy the last bit of the video. We probably got about another 20 minutes left here. I am gonna grab a new bottle that I have prepared already, and we're gonna. These windows, they came out clean. They came out nice. I'm just gonna double check that area where I had like a little chunk of rubber that might have been from I don't even know what, and then there was like one little speck of sand or something. So I surgically, like an absolute brain surgeon, I removed those, and I feel pretty confident with what I got here. I do see a couple of little areas where I'd like to just heat them up and squeegee them out just a little bit better in this little window. So that's one of the things I'm gonna do. And I just want to heat the film up a little bit. You'd be surprised how fast this glass will transfer heat and heat up the film. So I don't want to overdo it because I'll end up damaging the material. So I got that. I don't want to point the heat or the torch toward the rubber. Don't want to melt the rubber, don't want to damage the car. Speaking from experience, of course, I've done that already and don't want to do that again. And I feel pretty confident with what we got here. So I feel like this window, there's a couple little things in here that are little minor specks of dust that if I just heat them and crush out the air around them, they're never going to be visible. So that's kind of what I did. And the other ones are good, though. So what I'm going to do on this particular side is I'm just going to rinse a little bit before I grab my piece and throw it in there. Still got one viewer, man. One viewer is going to stick there till the end, man. It's going to hang with me till the end, whoever you are. Thank you so much. Probably somebody I know real well, and they're just sitting there laughing at how silly I am on this particular broadcast here. All right, so I'm going to get this in, position this out. This little piece here, no big deal. And I don't know how many of these I may have done over the years. It's probably I've done over 1,000 of these cars. I was doing some figuring for my website, I don't know, like a year ago, and I just was very modestly at 3 cars a day, 5 days a week, and I used to be a nut, and I used to work like 7 days a week and just go crazy. But I had it at like 20,000 cars, and it's probably closer to 30,000 cars. But of those cars, I've probably done, man, I used to do work for the Rosen Nissan, local Nissan dealership, and I did so many Altimas and Sentras and Maximas, it's not even funny. So probably 1,000. Just gonna iron this particular one out a little bit too. I probably, quite honestly, if this was a customer's car, I probably would take these off and redo these two, because I did end up with a little bit of a couple specks of dust that I'm able to iron out. No big deal. But I don't know. What it is something that no one would notice but me, and I'm just nuts with that. And so I'm a little bit OCD with the one little speck of dust in the window, and I'm just disappointed. So basically, I'm unsatisfied with my work all the time, which is kind of good for you. It's not the greatest thing for me, I don't think, but all right. So I'm gonna move on here. Those are done. They're acceptable. They look nice. They look perfect now. And I'm just gonna go ahead and bomb drop these door pieces in place here. Get these slapped on. I'm gonna let that film bunch a little bit up front so I got room to sneak all this film in the little area here. And then position myself, really do what's called a micro edge. It's like a 1/16 of an inch, like I mentioned. And the first thing I want to do, since everything, is going top down, it's kind of like any other cleaning you would do in your house. You start at the top and clean from the top down. So I don't want to have like moisture left above that can move down below and contaminate or whatever. So basically what I'm saying is I am going to start my squeegee process at the top of the window. I know that you can't really see too much here. I'm going to try to move my big head out of the way and just give a little bit of insight here, share a little bit more with these last couple windows. I think I'm going to do one more car today, and then it's a really nice day. I'm going to head downtown or something and enjoy the day. So just going to hit these side edges, get the little bit of moisture out of the way. Feeling pretty good with that, pretty confident with what we got there. And we're going to do the final steps here on the bottom. It's the same for every window. It's a little repetitive, but that's the reason why you can get a consistent, good, high quality job, is just because you've got a system in place that is really just leads to a good, consistent install. Now this window does look all smeared up, and that's just, I'm not concerned with that right now, because I'm going to come through and I know that it's clean. I know that it's this window's got a scratch on the outside, so that those scratches become a little bit more visible once you put the film behind them, of course, because now you've put something dark behind something that's light colored. It's like a white. Obviously the scratches are white, so when you put the dark behind there, you obviously can see them a little bit more. So that's something that you gotta, once in a while I'll run into that. I had a customer the other day, and he brought in a brand new vehicle, and it had a scratch in the window, and it was a bummer. I actually took the film off to just prove to him that he didn't, he wasn't contesting that I did it or anything, but I wanted to make sure that he knew that it was in the glass, that there was nothing I could do about it. And that happens. I see it even on brand new cars once in a while. So it's just something that happens. Hopefully you won't have that issue. But we got this last piece. We're going to get this in place, squeegee it down. And what we'll start doing is just the final steps of putting the doors back together, polishing up the windows so they're nice and presentable. And so this car is ready to be delivered to the customer. Even though this car has no real customer, I'm just going to take this car back to the car lot. And what time is it? It's 1:30 here right now. I think I'll do one more car today, and then we'll call it a day. Sunday I try to work like, I don't know, like 3/4 of a normal day maybe, or half or 3/4. It's nice to, if I can get a fully productive day in that shortened amount of time. Final steps on this front window here. So yeah, if anyone in the future watching this video, if you have a particular kind of car you'd like to see me do, I'd be happy to do it. Just leave a comment. I could make a video on I really have access to just about everything, with the exception of maybe your particular model, but we can get close. Like if you say, oh, I want to see you do a Volkswagen Jetta, or maybe I might have to pull a Volkswagen Passat in, but it's virtually the same scenario with that particular car. So if you want to see me do some kind of specific car or talk about a specific car, that'd be cool. I could do that. Now I'm going to move back to this back window here, and I'm just going to, this window's already cleaned on the outside, but what this does is this allows me to really focus again on the finish of this film, and it helps me to look a little bit closer, see if there's something that maybe needs to be ironed out, or something that needs to be fixed. Worst case scenario, if I need to take this film off and start over again, which totally sucks, but if I have to, I will. I am going to just snap these side panels back in. We're going to pop this third brake light back in. Really easy and straightforward stuff. Slide the little tabs into place, snap her down. Everything is snaps nowadays, super, super easy. And what I'm going to do then is you can see good enough. I am going to just pop these door panels back in place. So first we put these gaskets in position, and then I'm just going to reseat these door panels. They're very, very simple, very straightforward. It just takes an extra 5 minutes to pop these on and off, no big deal. And put the little plastic covers back into place, and boom, that's one done. And we'll move forward here. I'm going to shut the car off so the battery doesn't die. And the same thing here. You can see how really fast and easy this is. So really, if you're looking around for a tint job and if you're going somewhere and they don't bottom load and they don't pop the door panels, I would really think twice, because it's such an easy thing. It leads to a far more far cleaner install, really. It's next to impossible to do it what we call the top load with the two separate steps in the installation of the window film on a door glass without getting a ton of or a little bit of contamination or a crease or something. It's really almost impossible. So I don't think it's your best bet for getting a good job is to find someone that is going to pop panels. And I know from experience on that. So real quick, man, we're almost there. I'm going to finish in about 10 minutes. I will be done with this car. And I'm going to finish these panels, which is almost just minutes from being done, or a minute, whatever. And then I'm going to polish these side windows. And then this is a 2016 Nissan Altima, done right before your eyes, while you sit and chill at your house or wherever in your pajamas, watching me work on a Sunday. I don't know why I assume you're in your pajamas. I don't know, you're probably not, but whatever. Just messing with you. All right, and so we got three little screws on this one. Boom, boom, boom. The little cover that goes behind the lever for the door to open the door. The switch plate snaps into place, and then there's a cover for that, which you guys can't see right now, so just describing it. And that's that. The panels are on. We got 2 anonymous viewers. Glad you guys hung out, and hope you got some value out of this video here. I am just going to really quickly go over these side windows. What I want to do is just get rid of the smudging and the smearing and make it really shiny, make it really pop. And so I have basically a 2 rag system that I use. 1 rag I use when I bring the car in, when it's dirty, and 1 rag is just kind of used to polish the already clean windows. I don't want to get contaminants on this rag that could scratch my film, so I don't really use it on a dirty window. I use 1 side of the rag I have moist with the window cleaner. The other side I have dry, so I can just polish on a second attempt and really just leave me with a really nice clean finish. Just a system that I came up with over the years that works well. Dirty rags are schmeary and carry extra grit, and so don't want to touch those against the film once I'm done. But I'm just moments away from being done with this car. Then I'll write the car up, make an invoice for it, which I'll print it off later. I'll make an invoice for all the stuff I got here from this dealer today. And we will be done with this ride. And we'll have another video in the can, so to speak. All right. I'll also, if I see any watermarks on the door panel, I'll get those. And guys, that is it. 2016 Nissan Altima done. Looking good. It's really just a light shade on here. I put a 50% on these, so they just look nice for the dealership. So it's done. It's even harder to tell because I got them bright lights over there, but that really helps my shop. You can see the shade on there. It's tough on that door to tell, but either way, it's a vehicle that's done. We did a nice successful job. Got a good clean install, nice professional install that would satisfy just about anybody. So if you're in the market looking for window tinting to be done on your particular vehicle, you want to look for somebody with experience. You want to look for somebody that bottom loads, pops the door panels, takes the extra precautions that you see in the video here, the cleaning system. They want to have a well-established system in place that will lead to a really high-end professional job like this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can check us out at filmproficient.com. Got price lists and research can be done there. You can figure out what it is that you want. And in addition to that, you can check us out at facebook.com/filmproficient. I got a bunch of pictures and videos and different things there. You can see my what is it? My Google Business? I don't know. Google Local? Google Maps. Go check out that. I got 100 5-star reviews there. So I'm kicking everyone's rear end on that thing. But we're putting in the work. We're asking for the reviews. We're doing what we can to make people happy with the work that we're doing. And so if you are watching this and you need a Nissan done or any other vehicle, you can give us a call. Actually text me because I rarely answer the phone. Like when I'm busy working on a car, I am focusing on that car and I'm not trying to answer phones and stuff. So I do a lot of texting. I gather all my info through text. So you can text me 262-278-0530, and that is a way that I stay focused on the car that I'm working on, which will be your car if you choose to come and set something up with me. So we will see you next time. Thanks for checking it out, the video here. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, take care.